Contrary to popular belief, getting hired as a setter has nothing to do with experience and everything to do with how you actually apply. And most people have this completely backwards. They focus on the wrong things and then they wonder why they're getting ghosted and pushed to the side. And after appointment setting for the last 4 years and managing teams for some of the biggest guys in the space, I've reviewed hundreds of applications, I've interviewed hundreds of different setters, and I can tell you from experience exactly what you have to look out for to get you hired versus what gets you ignored. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the most common mistakes people make when applying for jobs, and also what can you do to stand out from everybody else and get the job on the spot. And if you stick till the end, I'll show you my personal video proposal that I sent that got me hired for a 7K per month role with no prior experience. The first and biggest mistake I see people make when applying for jobs is they cannot follow simple directions. I'm gonna give you an example in a second what I mean, but if you can just do that when you see a good job offer and they clearly tell you and lay out exactly what you have to do to apply, don't think you can skip the steps. They gave the steps in that order for a specific reason. If you don't follow the steps, you're disqualified, no questions asked. This is a list of setter applications for one of the clients I was managing. The first thing that sticks out to you, I'm assuming, is there's a lot of red here. Alec, why is there a lot of red? Well, red is anybody that I think is not a fit or I straight up disqualified because they didn't follow simple directions. Let's say we have 100 people here. 80%, even more, I haven't gone through all of these, but over 80 to 85%, sometimes 90% of people, I disqualify on the spot because they couldn't follow the instructions. So you're sitting here and thinking, there's so much competition. What are my chances of getting hired on a role? It's a lot higher than you think. And it's because of this exact reason. And here's what I mean. One of the steps here that we had was required. Record a 90-second Loom video introducing yourself, talk about your experience, and why we should hire you. If you do not submit a video, you will be disqualified. I don't know how much clearer I can make this, right? But yet again, the first 12 people upload error. Can we have a Zoom call? No cameras. Okay, don't have yet. I send the link here. My English is very bad. To follow, understand. Guys, this is who you're competing against. Sir, please, I don't have a video link. Not able to do the link. Oh, no thanks. Like, this guy doesn't give a fuck. Oh yeah, no thanks, but please hire me and pay me 5 to 10K per month. But yeah, no thanks. I won't even bother recording a video. Yes, I will submit a video. My G, where is your video? Right off the bat, 70% of people, they didn't submit the video, they're off. So you're left with like 30%. Out of those 30%, even the ones that send you the video, most of the time it's really fucking bad. And I'm not saying it's bad because they didn't have the right experience or credentials, because that's really not what I'm looking for. That's not the most important thing that I'm looking for when hiring people. Obviously, it's important, it matters, but it's not the main thing, right? I'm talking about how much effort did you actually put in your video? Are you filming it in your mom's basement? I can barely see you, you're mumbling, you have your shirt off, or you have some clothes in the back. Like, you're just not presentable. And this shows how much social awareness you have. And if you're willing to submit a video like the ones I'm about to show you in just a moment, and you don't care about it, you don't second guess, you're like, oh, this is really good. Like, in their eyes, they probably think this is good enough. And this tells me a lot, right? So here's one example.
Hello, I'm Victor. Victor, with extensive experience in appointment setting, I have consistently demonstrated a knack for connecting with potential clients, building relationships, and securing effective meetings. My proactive approach ability adapt to changing movements in.
What are we doing here, guys? Is it clear now? Is it really, are you telling me you cannot do better than this? Like, I don't want to flame the guy, but come on, how can somebody take this seriously? He's in his basement, he's mumbling, he doesn't even have a shirt on. So what am I supposed to do? Should I hire this guy? Fuck no. Can you do better than this guy? Is it that crazy what I'm asking you to do? Just be normal, be in a clean spot where I can see your face, and just be coherent? Is that really that difficult? Let's do another one. I don't even know these. I haven't watched these in a while.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Oluban Ofivo Emmanuel, and I'm applying for the job of an appointment setter for UPOL FC. I've been following you for a while now. I just saw your email that you're looking for a job. I'll be so grateful if I could get a job of the appointment setter. I previously worked with hotels and event planning, but to be honest, I haven't directly worked as an appointment setter for anyone personally. But I've worked in event management, I've worked in event planning, I've worked in organization. I'm open to learn.
Yeah, like, I can't hear the guy. He's outside, like people in the back. I mean, what am I supposed to do with these guys? Let's do another one.
Hi, Sabina. This is Ilya. I hope you're doing well. Figured to drop in and say hi. You probably noticed a couple of my emails come through, and I saw that you're one of the main players in the company, and I wanted to personally reach out to you. I've been following MLST pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, just for some context, guys, like, I don't know who Sabina is. I don't know what MLSP is. This is not the company that we were hiring for. So this guy, like, I don't know who this video was meant for, but it was definitely not meant for us in the setter role. So yeah, I think you get the idea. If they say submit a 90-second video talking about XYZ, then submit a 90-second video talking about XYZ. Don't make it 5 minutes. Don't make it 2 minutes. Ideally, make it 90 seconds. And yes, talk about your experience if they tell you about that. Talk about why you would be a good fit. Like, whatever they tell you, just do that. You don't have to be creative. You don't have to do anything over the top. Just follow the basic instructions that are laid out in front of you. So now let's look at a few decent examples or good examples. And I don't mean like what they're actually saying, but just at a first glance, first impression, did they really put any effort into their video? And now we're going to talk about the context and what to actually say. But the most important thing is, at least in the beginning, is like, do you look like a normal human being?
Hi, Paul and team. I'm Rodriguez. I go by I have been in the customer support industry for the last 15 years, over 15 years. I was a senior manager for a customer support department. My previous position, I worked at Pulte Homes, where I managed brand new communities. I was the homeowner's point of contact once they moved into their brand new home. I would basically get tickets from the homeowners.
So you can see her face. She's coherent. She's acting normal. In the beginning, first thing is she mentioned the company name and the business owner, so I know she recorded this video specifically for us. And then she just followed the instructions and talked about the things we asked her to talk about. Whether she's the best fit or not, like, that's a whole other story. But at least I'm gonna give her a chance, and I'm gonna entertain the idea of her getting on an interview and possibly getting into the role. Let's do another one.
Hello and Freedom Excel team. My name is Riel and I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I joined the family slightly over 2 months ago, and I'm proud to say that it was one of the best decisions I have made. A little about myself. I used to be in the corporate finance employment for 10 years and recently...
Again, short, coherent, to the point. She mentions the company, so I know she made this video for us. And then the video is also like 90 seconds long, more or less. So this is what I'm looking for. So that's mistake number one. Just knowing how to follow basic instructions. And again, like, this is where 80% of people fail, and they're not one step in and they already failed. So if you can just follow simple instructions, great. Your chances just went up by 80%. Second mistake I see people make is they talk about themselves too much and don't relate their experience to how that can help the company. A lot of people think they need to have specific like sales, appointment setting experience to get hired, but that's not the case. Everything is about framing and how you position yourself. If you had a job which required certain skills for you to learn and master that can translate into sales, then I would use those skills and say how, because I did this, even though I don't have like specific appointment setting experience, the reason I think I'm gonna crush it and deliver results for you and book as many calls as possible is because working at XYZ taught me this, and this is how it relates to appointment setting and what you do. So maybe you worked as a server and you were dealing with customers all the time. Most servers, what they do is they just take your order, they look at you with a grumpy look, and they just go to the next table. But maybe what you did differently was, you were present with every client, you really listened to their needs and their requirements, and if there was something that you can upsell them on or add as an extra to their order, you suggested that. So you collected more cash from every person, every table, right? So you got more tips, you collected more cash, you made the business more money. When you think about it, like, that's sales. A lot of the time, having experience is kind of 50-50, I've talked to a lot of people with experience that they say, oh, I have 10 years sales experience, blah, blah, blah. But maybe it was like corporate experience. They learned a bunch of bad habits that I have to now coach them on how to unlearn so they can adapt to the high ticket space and to the way we do things specifically in that offer. So sometimes it actually takes me more time to break the bad habits of somebody that has experience versus getting somebody that's just very coachable, very hungry, willing to learn, and just teach them what they have to do from day one. They adapt that framework, and now I don't have to worry about them fucking up because that's all they know. It's all about how you frame it and how you position yourself. Because it was the same for me. Like when I applied for my first mentor and I got on the interviews, bro, I had such a massive chip on my shoulder. I failed a bunch of businesses. I was living with my parents. I had no money. So I knew that, bro, this is a solid fucking opportunity and I gotta lock in. I gotta make it work. So I'll give it my all. And I didn't care that I didn't have any experience. Like they could tell on my interview, they could tell in my energy and just the way I was speaking that, bro, I know I'm not the most experienced guy. I know I may not be like the best fit on paper, but I promise you one thing, like I will outwork everybody that you have, right? I'll put in the most effort and I'll figure it out. Doesn't matter what happens, I'll figure it out. And if you can convey that in your videos, in your messaging, in your outreach, in your interviews, it's so rare that you will stand out 100 times compared to others. Because nowadays, guys, you gotta realize, people are fucking on their phone all day. They don't have drive. They want everything to be handed to them. So when I see somebody who's really hungry, willing to make sacrifices, and I can tell it's genuine and they're not telling me something as a strategy or to impress me, I can tell, bro, like, this guy is fucking hungry and he wants a chance. Bro, I'll give you a chance. But again, it's up to you to convey that properly and to play your cards right and to position yourself in the best light possible, even if you're at a disadvantage with no experience, etc. And like I promised in the beginning, this is the video application that got me hired for my first role with my first mentor, where I started out as a Facebook setter, then I moved into Instagram. 3 months in, I got promoted to setter manager. I started coaching clients, hiring setters, managing teams, and I was setter manager for this company from $400K per month to $1.1 million per month. And again, for the internal team, I've interviewed hundreds of setters. I've trained setters for our clients as well and placed setters for clients as well. Looking back as a manager, if I see this application, I'll give you the reasons why I think it worked. Even though when I was recording it initially, I didn't really know if it was gonna work. I just went with my gut. Let's break it down.
Hey guys, hey Richard. So my name is Alec and this is the answer.
So first thing, right off the bat, again, like the examples I showed you earlier, I call out the business owner from the get-go, and I also say, hey guys, because it may be the sales manager watching my video, which it was at the time.
To my questions.
I think the Google Doc is optional. I think it really helps just convey the message as long as it's written in a concise manner and it's not overwhelming and long, right? So I'm going through my document. First off, it's easier for me to stay on track and not ramble for like 5 minutes. but it's also a visual cue for them to follow and to reference back. And when I sent my video to them, I also sent a copy of my document here, which was kind of like my resume at the time, you would say.
All my life, I've had a passion for entrepreneurship, and I actually started my first business in high school, selling photography and videography services. I started from scratch and had to learn how to not only deliver the service, but also sell it to potential clients. Then I developed a huge passion for e-commerce.
So again, so far, I haven't mentioned anything about appointment setting, about my experience in sales, because I had none. But I've done things in the past that taught me skills and gave me character traits that I knew if I were given a chance in this role, I would crush it because of that. So I say, I've done this, and this is how it relates to you, and why I think this thing that I did will help me crush with you as well.
And started a few of my own stores, and also wrote sales scripts and video scripts and ads for a large seven-figure e-commerce brand. Then I transitioned into doing email marketing for e-commerce brands, and I worked with 6 to 8 figure clients, managing their entire strategy, communication, and I also managed teams of creatives, copywriters, and assistants as well. Why should you hire me? I think I am very coachable. I can admit my mistakes.
I'm focusing on character traits, on who am I as a person and the value I can bring with my character, right? I touched on experience and related my past experience, even though it wasn't sales related, to the role. But then the biggest leverage point I have is like my character and the fact that I don't give a fuck, I'll make this work.
And can take an objective view of my actions. And I also take full ownership of whatever I do, good or bad. My English is great, so communication is not an issue. And I also have experience talking with big and small clients as well. When I started photography, I used to work with small clients, but then...
Here I give examples. I'm not just yapping, yeah bro, I'm this cool guy, I did this, I did that. I give an example and then I back it up. Ideally, that's what you want to do.
In around 2 years, I built my way up to working with BMW, Audi, and brands like that. I also have a growth mindset and consider myself a problem solver. A successful sale I made when I was working in email.
And every single point that you see here, describe a successful sale you made, etc., like that was all things that they wanted me to talk about in my video. So guess what? I didn't skip steps. I didn't try to be creative and make my own structure. No, I took the structure that they gave me and I just followed it and just filled in the gaps.
I constantly had to hop on sales calls with clients and upsell them on new services like new flows, campaigns, SMS, and pretty much I had to describe their current situation, describe where they want to be, and bring them the solution on how they can get there, and also sell the service. I sold one-off packages as well as retainers. And as far as constructive criticism, like I said, when I used to manage big clients, they can be very demanding and they have their own way of doing things. And I had to kind of set my ego aside and learn to take criticism. And also there was a lot of pressure to perform and meet deadlines, which also pushed my skills to a very high level. So that's it from me, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Considering my circumstances, where I was at that point, obviously you can do better, but in my opinion, like, this is a really good video. Even looking back at like, with everything I know now, I touched on every point. There was like a humility in my voice, but also a confidence that I'm gonna make it work. You can tell that, you know, I was very detailed, I wasn't vague, but I also kept it concise. Like there's a sweet spot between going off track, but also conveying your point. And you may not nail this the first time. Like, this video took me honestly like around 40 minutes to record, or 30 minutes to record. I created a document in 30 minutes or so, and then I actually recorded the video maybe like 6 times. The first few times it was way over the time limit. It was 2 minutes for the video, and it was like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I knew that they explicitly said, make sure your video is no longer than 2 minutes. So I was like, oh shit, like there must be a reason why they say that. So I made my video 2 minutes, and I didn't stop until it was 2 minutes, and I was happy with it. And yeah, that's the video that got me hired. And that's really the thing that started out my journey. That's how I started making money with setting, is because I followed directions, I was coachable, I didn't let my disadvantages discourage me, and I showed that no matter where I'm at right now, I'm hungrier than you, and no matter what happens, I'll figure this out.